Hey guys, this is Rurouni K95 here once again. We're back here with another video, and this time we're going to be doing my manga reading log for the month of April this year, even though I've already done my first manga reading log video back in April last year, which is basically for the first time that I haven't done like this in quite a while actually. So this explains to the all for the act for this as well. So today I have picked about 5 of these manga books from my manga collection. 5 titles approximately for this as well, because that's 5 titles total as well. And this is one of them. Yeah, because I have to say this though, is that I wanted to do something for the fact of how I want to get to the fact for the whole thing of how I'm doing like a reading log as well, because I wanted to do a video like this that I haven't thought of one yet, which I should have done until now. Yeah, because why not? Because I figure I should do a reading log like this as well, because I wanted to do videos like this particularly. This is all has gotten to me though as well, because I just wanted to do this as well, because I wanted to do something that I haven't done one like this until now. Sorry, I was a little tired though, because it's just that I forgot to do one today, because I wanted to do a video like that as well, because although I don't normally do like a lot of videos on the holidays, especially whenever I always go away for the holidays as well, because we'll get into that in just a moment. So let's not waste any more time here. So without any further ado, which is right here and right now, let's dive into these manga books like here that I got. So let's see, let's see, 5 manga books, 5 titles total, and this is one of them as well. Let's begin. The first one here I'm going to start off with is this particular manga book that I'm basically in the whole reading as well, because considering how I wanted to start to become more of a manga reader, and this is the one I'm guessing that I wanted to read this one, which I haven't thought of one like this until now, and this is the one that I wanted to read, and that is Fruits Basket Volume 17. Yeah, this manga explains about how Akito has got a lot of more than a skeleton's hat in his closet, especially about the curse reader is not the only reason if Kureno won't leave Akito, who could have considered how Arisa can understand Kureno's devotion to Akito, especially when the graduation is gotten to the approaching of how this happened. Just to consider how this manga deals with something for its own sake as well. I must say, for Fruits Basket, this is starting to become my second favorite shoujo series as well. I might love this alongside with other, because I think I enjoyed this shoujo manga series than most other shoujo series I have come across for this as well. Yeah, I enjoyed this manga a lot more, unlike most other ones I have read, particularly of how I wanted to come by for this as well. Yeah, because this explains of how, that just shows of how I wanted to read something like this. very keynote for this as well, in case you're wondering as well. And another volume that I just read right here, and this is the 5th volume of this particular manga series, and that was done by a manga artist, Akira Ito, Card Fight Vanguard. Yeah, because this is the 5th volume, by the way. However, in this manga, this basically explains of how there's a latest showdown, how they got between Sai and Quayla users, especially for how Ren wanted to appear to have the upper hand against his newcomer Aichi when they wanted to actively peering into the game, of how they wanted to forecasting the flow of their decks, of how it seemed long before if either one of them who would have come close, of how they'd taken all the damages nonetheless, of how these contests, of how it explains of how the ultimately decides the outcome, no matter of how it's got to them as well. Yeah, just to consider how this is like your typical, more different than other ones like specific famous titles like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or something. Yeah, because this is a must-read. I wanted to read this particular manga. Although this is published by Vertical Comics on here. Yeah, this is published by Vertical. Yeah, because this explains of how I wanted to come by. Especially if you're into, like, card decks as well. Like, especially if you're a duelist as well. I mean, this manga is a lot very more, I would say similar, though, because a lot more similar to specific ones like Yu-Gi-Oh! As well, because despite that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the more popular. Card Fight Vanguard, however, it's a lot more opposite thing as well. I mean, look at this. Yeah, this is a lot more very similar to how Yu-Gi-Oh! Has gotten to the thing of how whenever I come by for this as well. And on top of this as well, sorry about that noise out there, you don't know what's going on. But anyway, so this manga, however, how it got to my thing though as well, because I just wanted to come by for a manga like this that were put out by Vertical Comics. Yeah, I didn't know that until now. Because this, I guess you have to call it manga titles been put out by Vertical Comics as well. And another manga that I just read more recent, that I had to read more recently though, I think this is volume 2 of this particular series right here, and that is Kingdom Hearts 2, yeah, volume 2. This is volume 2 of Kingdom Hearts 2. However, this basically, if you've ever been a fan of Kingdom Hearts, or if you ever played the video games, this manga is a must-read for all those as well, because I have never read this until now. Like most mangas out there, according to the facts of how I wanted to come by for that as well, because, oh my, look, this is published by Yen Press as well, because I haven't reviewed any of the Kingdom Hearts manga yet, though, but as long as it's a volume, if it's not completed, I can't review it. If I get all the volumes completed as well, because, unless you want me to as well, because this explains of how I want to come by for this as well. Yeah, because I had to realize as well, despite that this is one of those mangas that have been adapted from like the video games as well. Yeah, because I never know about that until now. Yeah, because I just wanted to realize for the fact of how I want. If you ever been a Kingdom Hearts fan, or if you ever play the video games or not, this is for those. As I wanted to come by for this as well because, yeah, even though that this has like, there is also the sequel called Kingdom Hearts 358/2 days, which leads to the voting as well as what I can know for that. Yeah, because sorry about that noise out there as well, because I just wanted to come by for that thing for this as well, because I just wanted to come across for it when I read this as well, because think of it, I just read this one, in case you're wondering. I just wanted to come by for that as well. And another one that I just read, and yes, this is actually a Korean manhwa series here, and that is Red Moon. I don't know why that this basically deals the whole tale of how it explains about Phillar's bizarre initiation led to the mysterious world of how it awakens to believe everything has a wild, vivid dream, especially when it happened in school. If anything has happened when he arrives, the teacher had to punish him for being out of school uniform. So he had to run 10 laps around the school field. When he finished his final lap, he was out of breath, especially if anything mysterious, strange happening to him. Especially when Kitara, who is the daughter of a shaman, used a clairvoyant powers to help Phillar when she could, as how she believes that she's basically a destined bride of Phillar, in a wild fit of jealousy when Luna Rena attacks Kitara, or whatever you pronounce the character's name, in the Red Moon series as well. Especially this one right here. I mean, it demands of how her intentions of how she could strike the killing blow when Sedat had to confront her. When Phillar discovers the full use of his powers on the fiercely battling the cyborgs that are sent to kill him. Overwhelming of how it changes the occurring of the flood of these memories when it has something happened by a plagued by nightmares of becoming a freak show or a science oddity. If he could have ponders if he will survive the day as well. Yeah, because I never knew that. Yeah, this nothing new to this as well. I mean, I just love the art style. It looks kind of very reminds me of reminiscent of the arts, like a certain art style of the manga called Legend of the Galactic Heroes as well. I mean, it's just the art style kinda reminds me of that one. But I thought this is all new to me, particularly of how I want to come by on this as well. Although I have never actually reviewed this yet. But I'm still... Oh, I couldn't come by for this, and this could be all at once as well. Of how you would know for the fact. So, this explains why. Even though this is a Korean manga book by Korean manhwa artist named Mina Hwang. Yeah, because I have never heard of this until now. Yeah, because this explains to how I wanted to come by for the fact is what I can know for this as how I want to realize as well. Yeah. Come to think of it, I mean, this is one of those series that I've never heard of until I had to read this. It has its moments, though, but overall, this is a must-read as well, particularly. And I think I read this unlike other Korean manhwas out there that I read, which is almost more different than the other ones I read recently in the past of my readings of how I wanted to do this as well. Come to think about it, I had to come by for this as well because I just wanted to know for these how I wanted to come by for how it looks very similar to than any other ones out there as well. Like many other Korean manhwa titles out there, this is got to my case of how I had to read for a specific series like Red Moon. Yeah, because I didn't know about this until now. Yeah, because this is one of those Korean manhwa series like this that I have heard stories about. This how has got to me, though, as how I wanted to come by for all what I can know for that as well. And at last, another manga that I just I had to reread as well, because especially that I've owned this in my manga collection. And this is actually this particular Rumiko Takahashi series I have right here. And I think this is the one that I wanted to read that I got right here, and that is Inuyasha Volume 22. What can I say about this one? This particularly explains about how the battle against the mysterious man with no face continued when Muso wanted to go through early, easily dismissed how he's another incarnation of Naraku when he appears to be at will. If this incarnation, if there is a connection to Inuyasha or Kikyo, when Inuyasha and the others wanted to head to the coast in the search of a way of how wanted to make a Tetsaiga more powerful, if how there's a way if he could have killed the outcasts of a half-demon girl, if considered Inuyasha would have had not to have a stomach to go through, of how something must have got to his case as well. Yeah, because I just realized I had to read this one for the fact for this as well. As I had, even though I have read the entire series, like I've read all 56 volumes of them that I borrowed from the library back in 2015, I had to wanted to get something that I just wanted to reread as well. Yeah, because I just wanted to own something so I can review the manga as well, because I just had the thing for this as well, because I have the figuring a way of how you can come by on all of this as well, because despite that Inuyasha is created by legendary mangaka artist Rumiko Takahashi, yeah, because even though Rumiko Takahashi is one of my favorite mangaka artists as well, because I just realized for this as well, because it all has gotten to me for that as well, because I just love the battles and this, how the action goes, especially of how this happens in every chapter in the Inuyasha manga volumes as in general. Yeah, because I just wanted to know for the fact of how some of them has some dark moments on there. However, the story may be a little tongue-in-cheek, though, in its own little certain way. But overall, one of my all-time favorites, because some of it has its moments on there, but overall, I love the story in this one as well, because can't go wrong with Inuyasha, that's why. Well, that's pretty much how I covered all these manga books that I just did right here in my previous ones I got read here for this one as well. I have read about, like, let's see, 5 manga books, 5 titles on here, and this is actually one of them as well, because that would that just shows of how I wanted to read something as well. I have been reading most manga in general, though. This how it explains to the fact for this as well. So yeah, this explained of how I wanted to come by on reading these manga volumes of Inuyasha as well, because I wanted to read something as well, just so I could remember it all for this as well, because, yeah, think about it, as how I have been reading manga in manga Japanese likewise, as well as reading manga books in English likewise as well, because I have been getting into the whole thing for how I have been reading most of them, if they're every series that were either completed, or if there's only a one single volume, or manga series that were canceled, like, especially the ones that were short-lived as well. I have to think about it, because that's how much I want to come by on how I wanted to know for the fact as well, because I have been reading a lot of manga, that's the thing, though, because I just wanted to know of how I wanted to realize for that as well, because I must say, because I have been picking about like this, just like how I did in my previous manga reading log videos, because one of them I got a bunch of them that I have picked from my manga collection, because I had to do them for the videos like every month as well, because although I don't normally know for the fact as well, because I have been thinking about doing an upcoming plans as well, as how as far as I know, according to the fact of how I've been starting to become a manga reading digest as well, because this has gotten to my thing though as well. However, there is like a bunch of other mangas that I've also read, also if I could throw that one in as well. Like the other manga books that manga titles that I read on my phone online, if I could throw that one in the mix as well, such as Do You Like Big Girls, which is like your typical what was it, fan service seinen series that I read as well as the classic manga series that I read from legendary manga artists, like the classic one, like Outlanders from Joji Manabe and Ashita no Joe, Rocky Joe, obviously, because those are the two I read online on my phone as well, which is on a manga reading app on my mobile phone, on my Android, because I have a Samsung Galaxy J7 phone, if you may ask as well, because that's pretty much of how I can remember for that. And also, if I could throw that one in as a bonus, as what I can remember for that. Yeah, because that's pretty much what I can remember as well. Because I have been, like, reading these mangas as well, because I just wanted to come by for this as well. Because I have been reading manga on my phone wise, as well as reading manga from my manga collection wise as well, particularly. Just to let you know for the fact is this as well, because I have been reading classic manga as well. I mean, there's like a bunch of old manga as well. Come think of it. And also, to throw that one in, I have read this other manga that I just read on English on my phone on the app as well, such as Go Nagai's manga, Mazinger Z, another manga that I just read on my phone recently as well. Another classic Go Nagai manga, particularly, because I had to read that one also, in case, if I'm not mistaken as well, because even though I'm wondering if Seven Seas Entertainment will ever get a hold of the classic collection of the Mazinger Z manga, just like how they did with specific manga titles from Go Nagai, like Devilman and Cutie Honey, which those are the Go Nagai titles as well, because I have been realized as well, because I have been reading manga on my phone online, like by reading through scans of the manga, like the whole entire story, because I had to go by scans as well as reading manga physical copy of them likewise as well, regarding of how I've been reading manga a lot more than I had with how I read light novels in general. In case you're wondering as well, because I wanted to come for the fact as well. I mean, if I could read any light novels and do a light novel reading one, as long as if I don't get tired and if I try to finish reading halfway through on every one of them. But manga reading logs helped me get the motivation going as well, because I just wanted to realize for the fact as well, whether if it's newer titles, older titles, or you read them online through scans on the Manga Geek app, like especially on your Android phone as well, because there's like a whole bunch of them as well, because there's like a bunch of old mangas I read through scans of them, particularly as well. If I'm not mistaken, though, as well. Yeah, because I just realized of how I've been coming across for this as well, because I just normally read manga as well, because I have been known for that as well. But that's just besides the point, though, which I had rest my case for the thing of that as well. So that's going to be it for my manga reading log for the month of April for today, you guys. Thank you for watching, but before we go, here's what I'm going to say for this one. Well, because I have picked about, like, 5 of these manga titles from my manga collection, 5 books of them that I've got as well as I read some manga online on my phone via that app that is similar to Manga Geek. Like, do you like Big Girls, Outlanders, Ashita no Joe, Rocky Joe, also known in Italy, obviously, though, and Mazinger Z. Those are the 4 manga titles that I have picked that I could put in here, if I could throw that one in. Because I think I read scans of the manga digitally, or on that app that is similar to Manga Geek app, or whatever that was, or something like that, if you ask me for that as well. Because that just takes the cake, because I have been reading manga likewise as well, because that's how I got to my thing, though, for that as well. Hope subscribe for more content if you are watching the channel, because I've been getting into the Blu-ray, DVDs, and Blu-rays now, because I wanted to do DVD and Blu-ray collection videos, that's why. And not just manga hauls and anime hauls in general, but DVDs and Blu-rays, especially from like World Cinema and Cult Classics and other cool ones as well. Feel free to subscribe to my channel, especially if you're new to my channel as well. Smack the notifications bell button. Be sure to get notified also as well for more latest updates, just to keep you notified. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Smack the like button if you enjoyed the video. Just let me know if you like as well. And that's all I have what I got for today. And keep it otaku for this manga reading log for today, because this I do it monthly for the month of April, that's why. That didn't take very long though. This is RuRoniK95 saying thank you for watching my video. I'm glad you liked it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope to see you soon for the next video. Hope you have a great day. And also feel free to check out my Analyst or my Anime Planet at your leisure at this point. And hope you have a great day. This is RuRoniK95 signing off, and thank you for watching my video, and I will see you soon for more videos. Take care. Bye.